Items are baked fresh daily on site. To start your day off with sunshine, make sure to visit the Donut Den at 3900 Hillsborough Pike or call 385-1021. That's 385-1021. The Donut Den, proud to serve Nashville.
Some things about baseball are difficult. Why does a knuckleball do all those crazy things? That can be complicated. Well, here's something that's easy. Fans of the Vandy Boys love chowing down on Tex-Mex out on the deck at San Antonio Taco Company. Tasty food, the freshest ingredients, fast service, and of course, that world-famous chili con queso. It's all pretty simple, really. Coach Corbin and the Vandy Boys are loved, and so is the Tex-Mex at San Antonio Taco Company. Easy to find on 21st Avenue South and online at thesatco.com. Before and after the game, you gotta go to Satco.
What's up? This is Kirk Casale, part of the 2011 College World Series team, and you're listening to Vanderbilt Baseball from Learfield. Now back to Andrew Allegretta.
Back to Andrew in just a second. Sweater Camp checking in from the network studios. Lots of regional action going on. Lots of elimination games. One of them in the Clemson Regional with the hosts on the brink. It's top 8. Clemson and Kentucky, and the Cats are all over the Tigers. It's 16-4. Kentucky trying to advance to the second game today in that Clemson Regional. Plus a good one in Athens. Georgia and Oklahoma State play elimination baseball. It's Dogs 8, Cowboys 7 as they go to the top of the 8th inning. Back and forth they go between the Dogs and the Pokes. Back out to Hawkins Field, guys.
Hey, Gus, thank you so much. Don't forget to check out Mr. C's Kids Club. Kids 12 and under are eligible. Benefits include a swag bag, invitations to exclusive events, and free admission to select games. Go to viewcommodores.com for more information. Very quickly, a wonderful performance by Eddie Bentley of the national anthem here today. That is Dierks Bentley, also known as a Vanderbilt graduate, and I think a country music singer. His daughter performed here today. Did a fantastic job with the anthem.
She really did, and I saw her back during basketball season as well. She was at Memorial Gymnasium and sang the anthem there, and Dierks was out there to maybe coach her up a little bit, so that was a cool scene.
And true dad fashion, right? The phone going the entire time. First pitch, Austin 9, bottom 1. Fastball, misses outside. 1 ball, no strikes. Certainly happy to have the Bentleys here today. And hopefully Vanderbilt can put on a show worthy of Dierks Bentley. The 1-0. That's swung on. This one is popped up out of play. If I'm not mistaken, did Vanderbilt not lose the basketball game that he showed up to?
I don't remember.
I think they may have.
Yeah, it may have been. I want to say maybe the Auburn game.
And if this doesn't go so well, perhaps we'll have to have a conversation.
Yeah, maybe so. Yeah, I was trying to remember which one it was.
Breaking ball misses a little bit low. 2 balls, 1 strike. Of course, in chest. Love to have Dierks here today. The 2-1. That's swung on. This is hit hard towards center field. That's going to drop in for a base hit. This one is going to get to the wall. Picked up by Austin. He steps. He throws to Vastine. It's a leadoff double for Wright State here in the bottom of the first inning. Well, the Raiders did this to Vanderbilt back on Friday, and they're threatening here today.
Hunter Warren just got a pitch he could handle and stroked it into the gap on a line. One thing we know about this Wright State team, they can really swing the bats. They have some excellent power. They can put some runs on the board, averaging 9 per game over the course of the season. Pitching maybe has been a challenge for them at times, but you don't go 25-5 in any conference unless you can put some runs on the board, and they've been able to do that.
That they can run too. Here's Patrick Foles, the third baseman. Runner down at second base. First pitch, swing and a miss, changeup. No balls, 1 strike. It was Warren that walked and scored in that first inning for Wright State. Thanks in large part to this guy, Patrick Foles, who's 3 for 9 this weekend. A home run and 2 RBIs. Here's the pitch. That's swung on, grounded toward the right side. Picked up by Rigdon, throws to first base. There's the stretch, 4-3. Warren does go to third base with 1 down.
Well, Wright State, you do what you need to do. You get that runner over, now 90 feet away from taking an early lead. And it's just been tough for Vanderbilt throughout this regional, playing from behind a whole lot of the time, pretty much most of the time, it feels like.
I think all of it, right?
Yeah.
I think the only time that Vanderbilt has had a lead is when they flipped the call from foul to fair with Nelson versus Wright State in the 8th inning.
So we've led for all of about 4 outs, right? 4 or 5 outs? Turn that around today.
Big deep breath for Austin 9, the freshman who has been so clutch for Vanderbilt down the stretch. First pitch to Gregory. That's outside. 1 ball, no strikes. Fastball, slider, curveball, and a changeup for Austin. Has a 2-0 record with a 2.90 ERA, 58 strikeouts. Makes his 15th start of the season. The 1-0. Swing and a miss. Hacks at a breaking ball inside. These guys are eager too. You can tell from the Raiders. Last time out for Austin Knight, the SEC Championship game. A 3-2 victory versus Ole Miss. 4 2/3. 2 hits, 1 run, and 5 strikeouts. The 1-1. Gets the call. Bottom part of the zone from Don Goller. 1 ball, 2 strikes.
If Gregory was any closer to the plate, he'd be standing actually on the plate.
His toes brush up against that batter's box. The 1-2. Outside. 2 balls, 2 strikes.
Really like the way Nye has performed, and you knew at some point you're going to need him for a big game. It happened as you described in the SEC tournament last week, and here in a must-win game in the NCAA Regional.
The 2-2. That swung on this is bounced toward the right side, picked up by Rigdon, throws to first. They got him 4-3. It does score a run. So there's 2 outs, Wright State 1-0. They manufactured the first run of the game on a couple of 4-3 putouts. That score is born after the double.
Well, that's doing what needs to be done if you're Wright State, Alex Sogard's team. Get a double, get them over, get them in. Now you get to the real power spots in this batting order.
That brings us to J.P. Peltier, left fielder with 20 home runs, a sophomore from Ohio. First pitch. This is inside. 1 ball, no strikes. That feels like one of those plays right there where both teams kind of take the outcome. If you're Vanderbilt, you clear the bases, you've got 2 outs on the board. You take that as well. The 1-0. That's hit hard left side. Under the glove of Brody Johnston into left field. It's a base hit by Peltier.
Seen Brody make those plays going to his left and going to the turf. That ball hit really hard and just snuck under the glove.
Here's the 5'10" senior from Ohio, Boston Smith, 3 for 8 with 2 home runs. He's got 25 this season. Again, 2 so far here at Hawkins Field. Boy, it's early, Kev. And you don't want to make too much out of anything, but this feels like a sizable batter for Austin Knight. Here in the bottom of the first inning, pickoff move back to first base. Peltier's safe.
No question about it. I mean, he's hit 2 home runs in this regional already in each of the first 2 games for Wright State. One against Vanderbilt on Friday and one yesterday against ETSU. This guy is a terrific player. In the box, behind the plate, really looked good.
First pitch, breaking ball is down. 1 ball, no strikes.
Second in the country with 25 home runs. It's 16 in the month of May. That's getting it done.
The 1-0. Breaking ball, bottom part of the zone for a strike. 1 ball, 1 strike. In a season where it does feel like home runs are down, 25 home runs, quite the mark. Of course, the SEC tournament saw 46 home runs a season ago, and 18 of them this year. So home runs have been down to some degree this season. Pickoff moves back to first base. I think there's a lot of factors for that. It's not one singular one, but they have been a little bit down. But Boston Smith and this Wright State team, they can clobber them for sure. Pickoff move back to first.
I think those things are interesting. I mean, is it a product of sluggers going on and playing professionally? Is it pitching was better? Weather? I mean, what are exactly the factors there, or just coincidence?
One giant cocktail, I think.
Could be.
The 1-1. That goes low. 2 balls, 1 strike, 2 outs. Boston Smith's at the plate. The SEC's not going to be quite as strong when Jack Caglione and Charlie Condon and Christian Moore. And some of these guys are, not slugging it in this conference.
And you also had some of the teams that can really hit home runs weren't around too long in Hoover.
The 2-1. That's swung on, chopped foul. 2 balls, 2 strikes.
Maybe a product of the single elimination format.
You don't want to stoke the flames of the juiced bats and rolled bats controversy, Kev?
I don't know.
Okay.
Maybe later in the game.
Okay. Pickoff move back to first base. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 down. Big pitch for Austin Nye to get through a home run hitter with 25 this season at the plate. Runner down at first base. Right versus left. Here's the pitch. Runner goes. Breaking ball is swung on. Look out. This one is driven towards right field. It's gone. Breaking ball. He hung it, and Boston Smith is not going to miss it. That's his third home run of the regional.
Off the bat, not much doubt. Couple rows up in the stands in left center field. You called it exactly right. That was a big pitch in the course of this game for Austin Nye.
And Coach Corbin wants to talk with Don Gohler. Look, here's the thing. I'm not exactly sure what this conversation is between Coach Corbin and Don Gohler. But whether it's today, whether it's tonight or tomorrow, if Vanderbilt can get there, you're going to have to score more than 1, 2, or 3 runs to win a ball game. So, you know, that's stomach turning to watch that happen here in the bottom of the first inning with 2 outs. But you're going to have to score some runs eventually. Here's Luke Arnold. Fastball for a strike, bottom part of the zone. No balls, 1 strike, 2 down. So Vanderbilt trails 3-0 versus Wright State here in the bottom of the first inning. A pitch off the plate. Fastball, 1 ball, 1 strike. I'm not sure what that conversation was between
I was
Coach
wondering the
Corbin
same
and
thing.
Don Gohler.
Yeah, that was a little strange.
The 1-1. Breaking ball is off the plate. 2 balls, 1 strike.
Maybe a question about the strike zone in the previous pitches to Boston Smith or something?
I didn't see anything untoward from Wright State after the home run and a celebration. The 2-1. That's outside. 3 balls, 1 strike. I don't know. I'll say this. What got the best of Austin Nye versus Kentucky is strike zone management. Not the strike zone. How he handled a strike zone he didn't like. The 3-1. That is crushed. That one's going to go to left field. It's 4-0.
Well, it is a real struggle in this first inning for Austin Nye against a very good hitting Wright State lineup. Back-to-back home runs. And if you're Vanderbilt, Andrew, how patient can you be with Austin Nye? I know you want to chew up some innings, but you wonder if we might start to see some stirring down the bullpen.
Here comes Scott Brown. Wow. As good as Austin Nye was versus Ole Miss, those back-to-back pitches to Boston Smith and Luke Arnold, and I say this, you know, as kindly as I can, were some of the more surprising pitches of the season from him. He has executed so well, and those past 2 pitches were not.
It's a long conversation with Scott Brown out on the mound with a freshman right-hander.
Brings us to Gilkerson. So Wright State 4-0. They've hit 2 home runs with 2 outs on the board. Well, you sure did think after you got that 4-3 putouts of Gregory that you could navigate through this bottom of the first inning. That goes up and away. 1 ball, no strikes.
Little activity in the Vanderbilt bullpen. Alex Kranzler, the right-hander, starting to get loose.
Look, let's call it what it is. The pitching staff for Vanderbilt has carried this team the past couple of games. That pitch is swung on. This one is lifted left field side, drifting out of play. It is foul. They've been brilliant. Since the start of the SEC tournament, Vanderbilt has allowed 9 runs, 8 of them earned, not including here today. 43 innings pitched for a 1.67 ERA. That's Oklahoma, Tennessee, Ole Miss, Wright State, Louisville with 62 strikeouts. Guess what? It's time for the offense's turn to pick up the pitching staff. The 1-1. Misses low. 2 balls, 1 strike, 2 down. Right versus left for Gilkerson. Austin Nye rocks and throws the 2-1. Fouls it on. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 down.
This guy's had a terrific season as well, batting average over 300 with 13 bombs.
The 2-2. Outside, 3 balls, 2 strikes. The 3-2. There's a tapper, third baseline. It goes foul. Wright State 4-0 versus Vanderbilt, bottom of the first inning. The 3-2. Fouls it off. First base side.
Got a cue shot to the third base dugout, then out in front of a breaking pitch and pulls it over the stands.
That's the pitch call for Scott Brown. 3 balls, 2 strikes, 2 down. Base is empty as Austin Nye tries to get through this bottom of the first inning. The 3-2. There's a tapper, first base side. Picked up by Nelson. He's going to flip off to Nye. He's out by a smidge. A smidge, itty-bitty smidge, and we're going to get a challenge. As Don Golder keeps Vanderbilt on the field.
I thought he was out. Real time. We'll see what the replay shows.
This is Darren Hyman, who's got first base and the microphone today. I think he's going to be, let's see. Ty goes to the runner, my man.
Yeah, I think he's going to be safe.
He's going to be safe.
Real time looked out. Replay looks safe. I think his left cleat got to the safety base just ahead of the right cleat of Austin Nye.
On that third base line, the headset's propped up on the railing. Vanderbilt trails 4-0, 4 hits, 2 home runs, a 2-run shot by Boston Smith, a solo shot by Luke Arnold, a 4-3 ground out by Gregory that scored Warren, a double to start off this frame, and Austin Nye is having nightmares of Kentucky.
It was one of those balls that was hit sort of in no man's land where Nelson had to play it. And if you're Nye, you take off on a sprint to first base as soon as it goes to the right side.
A tough play. Don't you just get the feeling that one team is playing loose and one team sort of feels the weight of their season here in this first inning?
I don't think there's much question about it, Andrew. I mean, Wright State, they have nothing to lose here.
Here's Darren Hyman.
Oof, very surprised.
Incredibly surprised. Incredibly surprised. And Vanderbilt certainly will take it. Wright State can't believe it. You know, I took a passing glance and it looked like Ty goes to the runner to me, but we go top second. Vanderbilt trails 4-0. Back after this on the Vanderbilt Sports Network from Learfield.
Here at the Tennessee Lottery Center for Game-Changing Fun, experts from all over the state are working around the clock to push the boundaries of big wins. And today, we are proud to say we've done it with Multiplier Instant Games. These groundbreaking tickets are engineered with chances to win up to $1 million. That's a whole lot of innovation. So discover the exponential fun of Multiplier Instant Games today. The Tennessee Lottery, game-changing fun. Please play responsibly.
Hey, Commodore fans, the Holiday Inn West End Vanderbilt is your headquarters for week-long entertainment. Stop by the Commodore Grill and enjoy live music from some of Nashville's best songwriters from 6 to 10 p.m., 7 nights a week. Grab a cup of Bongo Java from our coffee bar Brew to start your morning. Brew is in the main lobby. The Holiday Inn West End Vanderbilt, just walking distance from the stadium. The game starts here.
Download the Anchor podcast now. The most access to your favorite team. You're listening to Vanderbilt Baseball on the Vanderbilt Sports Network from Learfield.
Well, don't forget to check out what's available for premium seating at First Bank Stadium. This ball limited spaces left in the Commodore Club section of the New South End Zone. Go to viewcommodores.com to learn more. Andrew Alec Reddick here in the booth alongside Kevin Ingram, Brody Johnston, Braden Holcomb, Colin Barsi to lead things off for Vanderbilt in the top of the second, trailing by 4. First pitch is off the plate. 1 ball, no strikes. So Wright State scores 4 in the bottom of the first inning. And Griffin Page and his .850 ERA back to the mound. Here's the pitch. That's one. This one is lifted toward left field. This is a no-doubter and it's gone! It's the 15th home run of the season for Brody Johnston. Vanderbilt is on the board in a must-win game versus the Raiders. Brody Johnston goes deep and out of here to left field 4-1.
You know, before that pitch, I was just thinking Friday night, Brody Johnston ignited this Vanderbilt lineup and offense against Wright State with that line drive home run he hit. And a few seconds later, same result. It's a four-seamer right down the middle.
That has got to feel good for Brody, his 15th home run of the season. That's the second most as a freshman in Vanderbilt program history behind 22 2006 from Pedro Alvarez. Here's Holcomb. First pitch. Fastball for strike, bottom part of the zone. Braden Holcomb mumbles a few things to himself. 9 home runs this season for Holcomb. The 1-0. That's Spiller. There's a tapper toward third. There's the charge by Fultz. He throws to first base. It's going to pull the first baseman Crook off the bag, and Holcomb is going to be safe. Slow tapper to third. The thunderous Holcomb picks up a base down at first base after the throw from Fultz.
Yeah, that one wasn't exactly 110 off the bat for Braden Holcomb, but you need base runners, get things going. It's actually a nice play by Fultz, just to throw, pulled the first baseman out the line and actually hit Braden Holcomb on his way to the bag.
Let's see how they decide to score that. Infield single or E5.
I scored it an infield hit.
I would think so, but you never know. Nothing on the scoreboard just yet. Regardless, Holcomb is down at first base. Here's Barsi, left versus right. And the pitch. Inside. 1 ball, no strikes.
Well, they've put an error up.
Well, first off, the scoreboard is all sorts of turned around because they've got it in the top of the third, which it's not.
Yeah, don't shortchange us at bats. We need all the time we can get. Official scoring has error, which I think is a tough one.
That pitch goes inside. 2 balls, no strikes. I thought that E6 on Vastine was awfully close.
I agree.
Last night, and they went E6 that time. So
I thought that was a really tough error on Vastine in that play last night.
2 balls, no strikes to Barsi. Here's the pitch. Swing and a miss, and let's go of the bats in the process. 2 balls, 1 strike that goes to the backstop. And luckily not in the path of Vastine in the on-deck batter's circle. And the sticky spray comes back out.
All right.
The good news is messed with that stuff? That stuff is...
no, I have not.
That is serious business.
I'd have a big pine tar rag if I was playing. Put it all the way up on the barrel.
I was going to say,
like the big
that's
leaguers
legal,
do.
Huh? All the way up to the very end. Totally legal.
I've never understood that.
It makes the ball backspin.
Yeah. George Brett on line 1.
That's right. The 0-1. Misses low. No. The okay. I am prone to mistakes myself, so grace hath been given to the scoreboard, which is still not there yet. It was.
We've got 2 runs on the scoreboard. Yeah. I like their version of this a whole lot better than ours. It was 4-2 there for a second.
Okay. 3 balls, 1 strike on Barsi. And the pitch. Inside ball 4, runners at first and second. Our poor facilities folks are over there. Of course, one of the funniest things to me about regionals is you've been doing one thing one way, all of a sudden you flip and you do it differently with new people starting to use your equipment. I think there's somebody new running the scoreboard here today, so our facilities folks are desperately over there trying to help them out.
I think it looks like a new graphics package that goes with the NCAA regional as well.
Sure is.
Probably something that they're using at all the ballparks around the country. Hey, you like the thread here developing after Vanderbilt got on the board on the Brody Johnston home run. Holcomb reaching, whether it was a hit or an error, and then a walk to Barzy. So all of a sudden, you got the tying run at the plate.
I just got a text from our friend Alan Hall, who always stops by and says hello before the game. He says somebody needs to do a welfare check on the scoreboard operator. I agree. Okay. Holcomb's at second. Barzy's at first. Bastine's at the plate, represents the tying run. Left versus left, Page versus Bastine. First pitch, shows bunt, lays it down third base side. It is spinning, it's going to hug the line and drift foul. After all of the chitter-chatter from last night, here comes Bastine and tries to lay down a bunt on the first pitch.
Well, for about 20 or 30 feet, it looked like he might stay fair, but Wright State did the right thing. They let it roll foul.
Bastine takes his time to get back to the batter's box. Those classic Sunday green uniforms here today for Vanderbilt, white uniforms for Wright State. Vanderbilt trails by 3, 4-1. But nobody down top of the second inning and a threat. Vanderbilt still does not have a hit since Tennessee and Hoover with runners in scoring position. 0 for 14 since that game. The 0-1. Shows bunts. Oh, gets the call. My goodness. Outside corner 0-2. The irony of that stat, Kev, is the fact that Vanderbilt has, won 2 out of the 3 games since that moment. Of course, home runs from Brody Johnston, Jacob Humphrey, Nelson, all huge factors. The 0-2. That's swung up. There's a ground ball back up middle, flipped off to second base. That's one. The throw to first base. Oh, they got it. Double play.
Tough outcome right there for Bastine. Hit it right up the middle. We talked about hitting it to that part of the ballpark, but just a tailor-made double play ball started by Arnold, the shortstop. Let's play it first, but looked like the correct call.
Holcomb still at third base for Holcomb. Or I should say Humphrey. First pitch. Up and away. 1 ball, no strikes. Humphrey's 1 for 7 so far in 2 games versus the Raiders and Cards. 2 down. Holcomb's at third. The 1-0. Outside, 2 balls, no strikes.
The double play ball really kills the momentum of your inning, but still you have a chance to get another run here. That second run 90 feet away. See if Humphrey can put the ball in play.
If you can get the run, you can start to drift momentum back to the right direction. The 2-0. Breaking ball for a strike, 2 balls, 1 strike. Infield, outfield, straight up. The 2-1. Breaking ball is down. Good take by Humphrey. 3 balls, 1 strike. On deck is Mike Mancini. 2 for 6 with a home run in the 2 games versus Wright State and Louisville. Our score, Vanderbilt trails 4-1, top of the second inning. From the stretch for Page. The 3-1. Swing and a miss.
Like he chased it. Maybe a changeup away.
3-2. Called third strike. We go bottom 2. Vanderbilt gets 1. 4-1. Back after this on the Vanderbilt Sports Network from Learfield.
The home plate stop is no ordinary celebration. It's an exclamation point, punctuating team records, key wins, and epic moments marked by Vanderbilt legends. It sends visitors to the exits and proud Commodores into a frenzy. Ford knows that strong traditions start with leadership, like Ford F-Series, America's best-selling trucks 48 years straight. Drive F-150, proud sponsor of the Commodores, at your Tennessee Ford dealer, based on 1977 to 2024 total sales.
This game is brought to you by Jackalope Brewing Company, the official craft brewery of Vanderbilt Athletics. Proudly available at all Commodore basketball games, where our thirst for victory is only matched by our thirst for local beer. Feel like hitting the town? Come visit us for a pint at our brewery and tap room located in Nashville's Wedgwood, Houston neighborhood. Jackalope Brewing Company, encouraging you to anchor down and drink legendary and responsibly.
This is 2021 SEC Freshman of the Year, Enrique Bradfield Jr., and you're listening to Vanderbilt Baseball on the Vanderbilt Sports Network from Learfield.
Thanks, Enrique. Gus Buttercamp with you from the network studios. Couple of final scores from elimination action here in the regional stage. In Tallahassee, Mississippi State survives against Northeastern. Bulldogs win 3-2. They will rematch with FSU coming up later tonight in the regional final. It'll also be a rematch in Chapel Hill. Oklahoma crushes Nebraska, bouncing back with a 17-1 victory after the Tar Heels got after Kyson Witherspoon and the Sooners last night. Oklahoma looks for some payback in the regional final at the home of the Tar Heels. Back out to Hawkins Field. New pitcher on the mound for the Commodores.
Yeah, Gus, thank you so much. That's Alex Kranzler. Of course, this game 2 seasons ago, Kev, versus Xavier was the final game, speaking of Enrique Bradfield Jr. These days can be really difficult. They can be very euphoric as well. So here's hoping that this is not the final day for Jonathan Vastine, or perhaps some juniors that could go pro like R.J. Austin or J.D. Thompson or Riley Nelson. So here's hoping that we can flip this one as we progress throughout the course of the afternoon. Vanderbilt trails 4-1, and Alex Kranzler comes out of the bullpen.
And I think if you're Vanderbilt, I mean, you can't really think big picture too much. You just got to try to keep it where it is, down by 3 runs. Really wish you could have gotten that second run across last inning. And first appearance for Kranzler in a couple of weeks. Last time out was against Tennessee in Game 3 of that series. Pitched an inning over in Knoxville.
6 wins, 1 loss, a 4.05 ERA, 33 1/3 innings, 35 strikeouts, 6 walks. And Conlon Daniel is ushered to the plates by Don Goller. Now Vanderbilt is 0 for 2 with runners in scoring position so far here today after going 0 for 9 yesterday versus Louisville. There's going to be that big hit. Just need to get the breakthrough. First pitch up and in, 1 ball, no strikes. And can the pitching staff keep things close for the offense to finally knock down that wall? The 1-0. Breaking ball is swung on. It's missed. 1 ball, 1 strike for Daniel, who's 2 for 6 with a home run versus Vanderbilt so far in these 2 games versus ETSU and Vandy. Breaking ball is swung on. That's grounded to the right side. Picked up by Rigdon. Throws. There's the stretch. Got him. It's 4-3. That's the 3rd put out of the ball game for Rustin Rigdon.
Kranzler on the mound, one of those versatile guys that can give you good innings on a lot of different roles. Here will be called on to chew up a few frames early in the game here with Austin Nye. Just a tough first inning. You almost wondered if that play had gone the other way at first base that retired the side in the Wright State first, if Tim Corbin would have gone to the bullpen then.
First pitch goes off the plate. 1 ball, no strikes to Will Cook. I suppose the question is, was Alex Kranzler ready? If he was, perhaps.
Yeah, he was close, I would say.
The 1-0. Fouls it off. 1 ball, 1 strike on Cook. This is the 9th spot here for the head coach, Alex Sogard, at 37 years old. A 2-time national champion as a player. Little used as a freshman and redshirt freshman for Oregon State in 06 and 07. Swing and a miss. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Also teammates of Russell Wilson at NC State in 2010. Outside of that, a 5-time Horizon League Coach of the Year. The 1-2. Up and away.
Yeah, we talked about it on Friday. If you've won Coach of the Year in a conference 5 times in 7 seasons, you're doing a whole lot of things right. Good baseball family. Brother Eric, 11 years in the big leagues for 5 different teams. Cousin Nick plays for the Boston Red Sox.
2-2. That swung on this one is popped up to left field. Brody Johnston gives this a look. So does Holcomb. It flies foul toward the bullpen for Vanderbilt. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Their victory versus ETSU yesterday was his first NCAA tournament victory. Call third, strike outside corner for Kranzler. Wonderful pitch. Just dots it outside corner, 2 down. Bases empty, bottom 2. Vanderbilt trails 4-1.
That was a pretty sweet backdoor breaking pitch right there. 88, right on the black. Good pitch.
Here's the top of the order with 2 down. 1 for 1 with a double, right versus right. Here's Hunter Warren. First pitch, slider, first strike. 2 balls, 1 strike. Alex Kranzler throws just about everything. Slider, sweeper, splitter, fastball, cutter. The 0-1. Off the plate. 1 ball, 1 strike. Kranzler's as good as anybody on Vanderbilt's pitching staff in getting the baseball to spin. The 1-1. Here's a nice slider. Swing and a miss. 1 ball, 2 strikes. The 1-2. Swing and a miss. He struck him out, and Vanderbilt goes 1-2-3 against Wright State in the bottom of the 2nd inning. Big frame for Vanderbilt. Big frame out of the bullpen for their sophomore from New Jersey, Alex Kranzler. We go top 3. Vanderbilt trails by 3. Back after this on the Vanderbilt Sports Network from Learfield.
At First Bank, we've always been Vandy fans, and as the official bank of Vanderbilt Athletics, we're also teammates helping cheer on the Doors together. We're proud to add Commodore Pride to your wallet with our official Vanderbilt debit cards. Anchor down when you pay with Vanderbilt debit cards from First Bank. When 2 historic Tennessee teams join together, you get even more ways to bank on the Doors. Bank local, get more. First Bank, member FDIC.
Martin & Zerfoss believes that insurance is the foundation upon which businesses and families build their futures. For over 40 years, Martin & Zerfoss has worked with companies and individuals to build comprehensive coverage packages. Home, auto, life, health, disability, long-term care, all types of commercial, builder's risk, workers' comp, you name it. Whatever type of insurance you need, call Martin & Zerfoss. Online at martinzerfoss.com.
Hey, this is Dominic Keegan, part of the 2019 and 2021 College World Series teams, and you're listening to Commodore Baseball on the Vanderbilt Sports Network.
Well, Doors fans, let the providers at Vanderbilt Sports Medicine get you back to doing what you love. Whether you're sidelined with an athletic injury or dealing with bone and joint pain, the specialist at Vanderbilt Sports Medicine will look after you with elite care and expertise. Visit VanderbiltOrthopedics.com to learn more. Mike Mancini to lead things off. Vanderbilt trails 4-1. So Mancini, Rigdon, and Austin as we go top 3rd. Vanderbilt trails. Well, this day, 365 days ago, Mike Mancini played 2 for James Madison in the Raleigh region and hit 4 home runs. He can do that again today for the Doors if he would like.
I like our chances if he can hit 4 home runs today.
Shows bunt, lays it down third base side. Fultz is ready to throw to first base. Got him.
Good idea, but Fultz was playing in at third base, and the ball went basically right to him. Close play at first, but out.
Needed to push that one a little bit further down the line. But yeah, Fultz was in. Here's Rigdon. First pitch. Breaking ball, first strike. No balls, 1 strike here for Griffin Page. a sophomore from Mount Pleasant, Pennsylvania. The 0-1. Fastball for a strike. Count goes to 0-2. Base is empty for Vanderbilt, top of the third. The 0-2. Up and away. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Now, Vanderbilt's offense has taken a couple of dips throughout the course of the season, but typically speaking, they do bounce back pretty well. 3 runs in the first game versus Ole Miss, 1 versus the Rebs in Game 2, 13 in Game 3. The 1-2. That swung on this one is flared foul. Right field side out of play. You could say the same thing between Louisville and Tennessee. It was 4 versus the Cards. It was 2 versus Doyle in that 3-2 loss, and then 10 in Game 2. Even USC and UConn, they didn't score a ton and bounced back with a bunch versus St. Bonaventure, 14 of them. As Vanderbilt needs that bounce back here today in this top of the third. The 1-2. Swing and a miss. Struck him out. Elevated fastball. 2 down. Boy, Vanderbilt has expanded the zone in the past 24 hours.
It just feels like our hitters are a bit out of sync. You talk about swinging at the correct pitches, laying off ones that aren't hittable, ones you can't really do anything with. Got Rigdon to chase a pitch up, and Pages look good so far. The exception of that home run by Johnston.
Here's Austin for Vanderbilt. And the pitch is on its way. Misses low. Changeup. 1 ball, no strikes, 2 down. Base is empty.
Maybe RJ can start the month of June the way he started the month of May. Remember that 4-hit game?
That was... here's the 1-0. Up and in. That was versus Bama, huh?
4-hit game with a 3-run homer?
Yep. The run rule victory for Vanderbilt that game, yeah?
Yeah, scoreless game that turned into a run rule win.
The 2-0. Swing and a miss. Changeup. 2 balls, 1 strike. The 2-1. That swung on, fouled it off. 2 balls, 2 strikes on the fastball. We're top 3. Base is empty. Vanderbilt trails by 3. The 2-2 on its way with 2 down. Inside. Good take. 3 balls, 2 strikes. On deck is Nelson. The 3-2. Fouls it off. Likely ball 4, but certainly protected.
Yeah, that looked like a bit of an emergency swing, just to slap it the other way and stay around for another pitch.
Left versus right for Austin. The 3-2. Yanks it foul. Off of First Bank Stadium and all the way back to shortstop. I don't think I've seen that before. Like sometimes to left field, sometimes toward the stands. It typically doesn't get back to second base.
Yeah, that ball was on its way to the Huber Center and ends up out at shortstop.
The 3-2. That swung on. There's a fly ball to left field. It's playable for Peltier. Waits, drifts over toward the gap, reaches, gloves. There's out number 3. Vanderbilt goes 1, 2, 3. Top 3 we go. Bottom 3. Vanderbilt trails 4-1. Back after this on the Vanderbilt Sports Network from Learfield.
Vanderbilt Business offers degree and certificate programs designed to help you gain the knowledge, connections, and confidence to achieve your unique goals. We're committed to creating opportunities for you to discover, grow, and thrive at every stage of your career. Whether you're just starting out or working your way to the C-suite, let our dedicated staff and faculty help you take the next step in your professional journey. Visit vanderbiltbusiness.com/anchor down today. That's vanderbiltbusiness.com/anchor down.
Some people like A and others like B. At BMW, we prefer X, like the dynamic X3 designed for ultimate exploration, the X5 with effortless precision and performance, or the X7 where comfort meets a commanding presence. All proudly assembled in BMW's largest plant worldwide in Spartanburg, South Carolina. For those who demand more from every mile, BMW, the ultimate driving machine.
What's up, Commodore Nation? This is Will Toffee, part of the 2015 College World Series team, and you're listening to Vanderbilt Baseball on the Vanderbilt Sports Network.
Welcome back as we go bottom of the third inning. Alex Kranzler continues. Andrew Allegretti here in the booth alongside Kevin Ingram. Gus Whittekamp back inside our network studios. If you're hosting a high-end event or academic conference, look no further than Vanderbilt University, a full-service conference destination with the vibrant energy of Music City right at your doorstep. Learn more at vanderbilt.edu/conferences. Folks to lead things off for Wright State.
Heard Will Toffee there a moment ago. He sat in with us on a game on TV a couple months ago. It was really fun to visit with him and hear his recollections of playing on that College World Series team, and also his journey through professional baseball, where he got to the big leagues, but he never really got an opportunity to play. But it was really fun to sit in with him.
That great guy, the last Vanderbilt Commodore to hit an inside-the-park home run. First pitch, fastball, swing and a miss. No balls, one strike came at the Sounds ballpark. I think in 2000, I guess it would have been 17.
That would not have been my guess for the most recent Commodore to have an inside-the-park home run.
Likely makes two of us. The 0-1. That's swung, hit hard towards right field. It's down for a base hit here for Fultz. Leadoff single to start off the bottom of the third.
First really hard-hit ball against Alex Kranzler, who threw a clean second inning with a ground out and a couple of strikeouts. It's one of those pitches left-handed hitters often like and often hit hard. Down in the zone, able to stroke it to right field.
Here's Gus Gregory. 0 for 1 so far. Redshirt sophomore from Strongville, Ohio. Picked up his 47th RBI back in the first inning. First pitch. There's a foul tip bunt. Is it a foul tip or is it a strike?
I think it may be just a strike. I thought he got a piece of it. It went through the legs of Barzy and rolled to the backstop. Meanwhile, the runner Fultz went to second.
Oh, balls, one strike. Runner down at second base is Fultz.
Yeah, he definitely did make contact with it.
That pitch, it's hammered toward left field. This will score a run as Fultz turns the corner at third base. The throw from Austin is cut off by Nelson. 5-1 Wright State. Those shoulders for the Vanderbilt Commodores must feel like they're carrying mountains right now.
Yeah, the main job has been to keep the game where it is. Wright State with his really potent offense, able to tack one on right here, still with nobody out.
Here's J.P. Peltier. Pickoff move back to first. Here's the pitch. Swing and a miss. No balls, one strike, right versus right. Vanderbilt trails by 5-1. 5 runs on 6 hits for Wright State. 1 run on 1 hit, the Bodie Johnston Soto shot for Vanderbilt.
Pass ball there a moment ago was really costly. Just kind of an odd play. You had the hitter squaring to bunt, but the pitch had so much movement on it. Went below the barrel of the bat, below the mitt of Barzy behind the plate.
Pickoff move back to first. Runner is safe. The 0-1. Shows bunt, pulls back, breaking ball inside. 1 ball, 1 strike. 1 for 1 for Peltier. Picked up a single and scored on the 2-run home run by Boston Smith, who waits on deck. Here's the pitch. That's the splitter. Misses low. 2 balls, 1 strike. Pickoff moves back to first. Runner is safe. The 2-1. Outside. 3 balls, 1 strike from Kranzler working against Peltier.
Gregory, a decent threat to steal, but what you really want your attention on these hitters at the plate, because these are the especially difficult spots in the lineup.
The 3-1. Runner goes. The bobble is not going to matter from Barzy. It's ball 4. Runners at first and second.
Wright State's going to call time here. I was thinking maybe we could see Scott Brown make a mound visit. You said it back in the first inning when Boston Smith came to the plate with a man on base, that was a key at bat. This feels like a gigantic at bat in this game. Vanderbilt already down by 4 runs, and you have a guy with 26 homers coming up.
Can't see that bullpen for Vanderbilt.
Not really seeing anything. Not at the moment, anyway.
I think that's Sawyer Hawks. Is Hawks starting to move? Boy, if you're pushing the Hawks button in the 3rd or 4th inning versus Wright State, things have reached critical mass. Pickoff move back to second base. Fastine has to make a play. Not saying that's the wrong decision if they go that way. You're certainly with your backs up against the wall, just like Vanderbilt threw Carter Holton versus High Point at the end of the ball game last year.
Yeah, you're in survival mode here, whatever it takes.
Here's the pitch. Off the plate. 1 ball, no strikes. Runners at first and second. Vanderbilt trails 5-1. The 1-0. Breaking ball, first strike.
There we go. Good job, Luke.
Lead off base hit for Fultz. A pass ball put him at second base. Gregory picks up the single to left field. That scores Fultz. A walk to Peltier. Here's the pitch. Lifted foul. Left field side. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Here at Hawkins Field, this is an elimination game. Whoever falls here tonight is done with 2025. The winner advances to take on Louisville tonight. Wright State scored 4 in the bottom of the first inning versus Austin 9. The 1-2. Breaking ball slips out of the fingertips of Kranzler. 2 balls, 2 strikes. The 2-2. That's hit hard toward the right side. It's caught by Rigdon. He's got nowhere to go. Nearly was able to double off the runner at first base, but Nelson took a couple extra seconds to get back to the bag. Huge play by Rigdon. 1 down.
Really well done. And good base running by Peltier to stay close enough that he could get back safely before Rigdon can make the throw. And with Nelson a little bit off the base, he just didn't have a chance to get that double play.
Here's Luke Arnold, 1 for 1. Home run to left field, back in the first inning. Let's spin 2. There's a spin back to second base. Rigdon's there, no tag.
But he gets Smith out without any further damage being done. Off the bat, that had the makings of a run-scoring single, but snuffed out by Rigdon. He's played a really nice second base.
A pitch, it swung on and missed. No balls, 1 strike. Good breaking ball to Arnold. Right versus right. You've got Johnston, Fastine, Rigdon, and Nelson. Those 4 would love to combine for a double play with 1 down here in the bottom of the 3rd inning. The 0-1. Swing and a miss. Elevates the breaking ball. No balls, 2 strikes on Arnold. The 0-2. Outside. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Breaking ball once again from Kranzler. Holcomb's fairly deep in left field, plays toward the triangle. Austin Humphrey pretty much straight up center field, right field. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Arnold's at the plate. Here's the pitch. Off the plate. 2 balls, 2 strikes.
That heater at 95. Both these last 2 pitches just missed. First a breaking pitch, then a fastball.
That was a 2-seamer. Kind of felt like it tailed around the plate, perhaps. The 2-2. Runners go. Swing and a miss. The throw down to second base. It is. Did he get him? No. A strikeout. Arnold did not cross in front of the path of Barzi, so no obstruction there. There's 2 down. Runners at second and third for Gilkerson.
Barzi trying to cut down the trail runner on that double steal.
Wrong side of the bag with the throw.
Yeah, Rigdon did a good job of catching it, just trying to apply some sort of tag, and not in time.
First pitch. There's a chopper. Goes right back to Kranzler. He steps, he throws to first base. It's a pellets, and Vanderbilt gets through the jam. We go top 4. Vanderbilt trails by 4. 5-1. Back after this on the Vanderbilt Sports Network from Learfield.
Where can you find the Music City's hottest spots under one roof? At the Omni Nashville Hotel. This stunning luxury hotel offers the perfect blend of urban elegance with a vintage touch in the heart of downtown. Discover a variety of culinary delights at the award-winning Bob's Steak and Chop House. Authentic Southern cuisine and kitchen notes. Nashville's coolest honky-tonk bar lines. And grab your favorite cup of joe at Bongo Java. Find your inner zen at one of downtown Nashville's only full-service salon and spas, the Mocara Spa. What are you waiting for? Your key to Music City, the Omni Nashville Hotel. Come see us soon.
Hey Vandy fans, life's like baseball. You never know when you'll take a bad bounce. But when you do, trust Ponzi Law to step up to the plate. For over 30 years, they've been hitting it out of the park for injury victims. Every year, Ponzi Law recovers millions of dollars for their clients. If you're hurt in an accident or on the job, Ponzi Law is the team you want in your corner. Don't strike out. Call Ponzi Law at 615-244-4321. Ponzi Law, justice for all.
Hey, this is Dominic Keegan, part of the 2019 and 2021 College World Series teams, and you're listening to Commodore Baseball on the Vanderbilt Sports Network.
That's what I came with you from the network studios. Back and forth they go in Athens. Heroics for Oklahoma State in the bottom of the 9th inning. Colin Ritchie hits a game-tying 2-run home run for the Cowboys. It's 9 apiece. Bottom 9 elimination baseball in Athens. Still no outs for the Cowboys. Another run walks it off and eliminates the hosts, Georgia. Plus a wild one in the Oxford Regional. That's also an elimination game. Ole Miss and Georgia Tech. Tech with 3 runs in the first. Ole Miss answers with 5. It's 5-3. Top 2 at the home of the Rebels. Back out to Hawkins Field, guys.
Gus, thank you so much. We welcome John Michael Morris, our Director of Recruiting, to the broadcast booth for Valley Radio right now.
Yeah, it's time to get it going from the jump here, Andrew. Top half of the inning with us being the visitor here at Hawkins Field. A little odd, so no better time than to start Rally Radio right now.
Shift is on versus Nelson. Left on left with Page. First pitch. Breaking ball is down. 1 ball, no strikes.
Again, I feel like a broken record, but you can't play the scoreboard right now. As you know, Andrew, you just got to take it at bat and string something together, get some base runners on.
That pitch, it's chopped foul. 1 ball, 1 strike.
A lot of baseball left, and you don't have to get all 4 runs right now, but you want to start chipping away. Make yourself feel a little bit better about the situation. And right now, there's just some guys that just need to breathe and relax and start having a little fun again. And some base runners and a couple of runs can certainly help with that.
The 1-1. Nelson swings, hits this toward the right side into the shift. Picked up by Warren. Throws to first. 4-3. It's what Coach Corbin said yesterday. In postseason baseball, your pleasure has to be greater than the pressure. Right now, for sure, unfortunately for Vanderbilt, the pressure is greater than the pleasure. It danced on a razor's edge last night versus Louisville and likely flipped toward the end of the ball game. And you've got serious weights on some of these guys' shoulders. Of course, Vanderbilt over 2 with runners in scoring position. Really difficult top of the second inning, in which Vanderbilt had runners at first and second with nobody out and did not tack on any more than this total shot from this guy. Brody Johnston, first pitch off the plate, 1 ball, no strikes.
Well, there's no doubt. There's an enormous weight on all of these guys right now. They hear what's said, and even if they try, they read the things that are written, and I promise you, no one.
That pitch goes inside. 2 balls, no strikes.
This staff or team aren't doing everything in their power to get this thing going.
I do hate that. I get it, right? It's fine. It's the 2-0. That's fouled straight back. I'm not saying that anybody has to say one thing or another, but I don't know if fans process that the guys see it.
Right.
Anyway.
You can put the blinders on all you want, but the noise gets loud this time of year.
The 2-1. Up and away. 3 balls, 1 strike.
And boy, it can flip on a dime.
Yeah.
Look at where we were last week, feeling pretty good about how things were rolling in all facets. But again, playoff baseball, you're seeing the best of the best in terms of arms when you get to this point.
Chase is out of the zone. And the count goes to 3-2. If I can request one thing, request. It feels to me, offensively, the key for Vanderbilt is don't expand the zone. The 3-2. Fouls it off. Good hack there to stay alive. But if Vanderbilt can stay off of the stuff that is clearly not in the zone, you start to change the demeanor of the pitchers for Wright State.
There's no question. You mentioned it last night, and that was the key. Don't expand the zone. The outcome would have been different last night if you hadn't chased in certain situations.
The 3-2. That's a chase that's popped up towards right field. It's going to be playable for the center fielder. Daniel makes the catch 2 down. I get that it's difficult to lay off of that pitch in this situation, but that's probably ball 4?
Yeah, probably. And if that one wasn't the one that Brody chased 3-1, certainly was. And we saw RJ in a 3-2 pitch, protecting. These guys are in protect mode with 2 strikes. The last thing you want to do is leave it up to the umpire. That's for sure. We've seen that in this regional so far. But again, it's just you got to control the strike zone. That's probably, that's as elementary as it gets for sure.
First pitch, Holcomb. Swings and misses. Breaking ball. No balls, 1 strike.
And obviously it's more difficult to do than say.
Way more difficult.
Hitting is so hard, and you make it harder on yourself when you chase out of the strike zone. Hitting strikes is hard enough.
The 0-1. That's swung on, grounded toward the left side. It's played by Arnold, throws to first base, 6-3. Vanderbilt goes 1-2-3, top of the 4th inning, trails by 4, 5-1. Bottom of the 4th after this. Vanderbilt Sports Network from Learfield.
No matter how you slice it, Nashville's favorite pizza is 5 Points Pizza. 5 Points Pizza is open 7 days a week for lunch and dinner in East and West Nashville with delicious weekday lunch and happy hour specials. Enjoy the lunch special combos of slices, salads, or garlic knots for as little as $11 on weekdays between 11 a.m. and 4 p.m. Can't enjoy hot pizza without a cold beer? Stop by between 2 and 6 p.m. on weekdays for any slice and any draft for just $8. To order, visit 5pointspizza.com.
At the Cupcake Collection, we believe there's always a reason to celebrate. From tailgates and study breaks to birthdays and beyond, there's cake for that. Ranked top 10 in the nation and the best cupcake in Tennessee, the Cupcake Collection is the home of the original sweet potato cupcake and just minutes from Vanderbilt University. Visit us in historic Germantown or at thecupcakecollection.com and use code ANCHORDOWN for 10% off your first order. Bringing you that nostalgic taste and feeling. Our cupcakes taste homemade because they are homemade.
What's up, Commodore Nation? This is Will Toffee, part of the 2015 College World Series team, and you're listening to Vanderbilt Baseball on the Vanderbilt Sports Network.
Welcome back as we go bottom four. Vanderbilt trails 5-1. Andrew Allegretti here in the booth alongside J.M. Morris. This is an elimination game. Loser is done with 2025. Winner takes on Louisville tonight. Certainly plenty of baseball to go for Vanderbilt, but Vanderbilt has one hit so far. A solo shot by Brody Johnston. That's a little bit tricky to wrap your head around. If you take, let's see, 12 innings versus Wright State's. If you take out the 8th inning, back on Friday, so 11 of them, Vanderbilt has a grand total of 2 hits and 2 runs in those other 11 innings versus the Raiders. And both of them are total shots by Brody Johnston. That pitch goes inside. 1 ball, no strikes to Daniel.
It is hard to fathom.
The 0-1. Fastball for a strike outside corner. No balls, 2 strikes. The 0-2. Breaking ball misses off the plate. 1 ball, 2 strikes.
Again, it's just going to take somebody standing in there, getting something going, getting a little bit of momentum, and that's how things change quickly.
That pitch is fouled off. Count stays 1-2 on Daniel. This is the 8-9-1 part of the order for Wright State. The 4 seed tries to dismiss the number 1 overall seed in the tournament. The 1-2 off the plate. 2 balls, 2 strikes. The 2-2. That's grounded. It's played by Kranzler. Good job by the pitcher. Flips off to Nelson. 1-3. Big first out, bottom of the 4th inning.
Real nice play there by Kranzler, stabbing that ball above his head. Ball came off the bat pretty hot. I think Rooster was standing right behind Kranzler and would have made that play either way. We've seen Kranzler field his position well a couple of times so far in this outing.
Yeah, back-to-back 1-3 putouts if you go back to the 3rd. Here's Cook, first pitch, right versus left. Breaking ball is a strike. No balls, 1 strike, 1 down here from Hawkins Field. I'll tell you what. No balls, 1 strike, 1 down. Kranzler kicks and throws on its way. Fouls it off. No balls, 2 strikes. If you're out there and you're a Vanderbilt fan that's perhaps got tickets for both of the games here tonight, and you thought you could save your time for the Louisville game later tonight, we need you now. We've got a good crowd here, but if you've got tickets, get on out here, wear some black and gold, and get these guys to the finish line. The 0-2 does not chase, up and away. 1 ball, 2 strikes. The 1-2. Swing and a miss. Got the strikeouts. Two down. Maybe if this whole thing goes south, we can convince Dirk Bentley to pick up a guitar and play a concert for us. I just need a little bit of levity, Jay. Like a slice of it. If it's not going to be a grand slam to tie the ball game at 5, which I would take, it's a slice of levity. We've got plenty of time, I get that, but
I like Dirks, but I would much rather see some runs than a Dirks Bentley show.
Yes.
No offense to Dirks whatsoever.
Sir. Yes, sir. That's swung on. Foul tipped by Warren. Dirks Bentley is, I guess, front row, if not the second row, right behind home plate. His daughter sang the national anthem here today.
There's been some stars out this weekend. I saw Theo Vaughn on Friday night here.
The 0-1. Up and in. 1 ball, 1 strike. 2 down. I saw Rhett Wiseman here.
Rhett Wiseman, he would qualify. Yeah, no doubt.
I mean, if you can trot out major bling, which he can't do with the championship rings. That's spun on. This one is lifted towards shallow right field. Here comes Humphrey. Here comes Austin. It's going to be Austin makes the catch. Kranzler, 1, 2, 3, bottom of the 4th inning. We go top 5. Back in just a couple of seconds after this on the Vanderbilt Sports Network from Learfield.
At First Bank, we've always been Vandy fans, and now as the official bank of Vanderbilt Athletics, we're also teammates helping cheer on the Vandy boys together. This year, we're proud to add Commodore Pride to your wallet with our official Vanderbilt debit cards. Anchor down when you pay with the new Vanderbilt debit cards from First Bank. When two historic Tennessee teams join together, you get even more ways to bank on the doors. Bank local, get more. First Bank, member FDIC.
What happens when the thrill of Powerball meets the thrill of NASCAR? You get a chance to win an exciting trip for two to the NASCAR Championship race in Phoenix, Arizona. Plus, the chance to win $1 million in a special drawing. Enter the NASCAR Powerball Playoff Second Chance Drawing at TNVIPRewards.com between May 10th and June 30th for your chance to win. The Tennessee Lottery. Game-changing fun. Please play responsibly. NASCAR is used with express permission. NASCAR LLC is not a sponsor of this promotion.
Download the Anchor podcast now. The most access to your favorite team. You're listening to Vanderbilt Baseball on the Vanderbilt Sports Network from Learfield.
That's what I came with you from the network studios. A major update from the Athens Regional. It's heartbreak for Georgia as Oklahoma State's Brock Thompson hits a walk-off two-run home run. The Cowboys beat the Bulldogs 11-9. They will play Duke in the regional final, and the Dogs are done here in the regional round. Still in progress in elimination games, Texas, who lost to UTSA last night, were ready to go today as they lead Kansas State 10-3 in the top of the fourth inning. Also in that Hattiesburg Regional, Southern Miss and Columbia squaring off once again. It's 1-1 in the bottom of the fifth inning there. Back out to Hawkins Field, guys.
Gus, thank you so much. Barnesy, Vastine, Humphrey, the duo order for Vanderbilt. Top five trailing by 4, 5-1. Vanderbilt has a grand total of 1 hit so far here tonight. And it gets this afternoon as it all blurs together some. First pitch by Page. Misses low. 1 ball, no strikes with the changeup. Left versus right for Barzy, who walked back in the second. The 1-0. Inside. 2 balls, no strikes. I still can't get over, to some extent, the first game versus Wright State, which, again, I don't think either team put a runner physically at second base all game. The 2-0. Misses low. 3 balls, no strikes. People rounded second base, but nobody physically stopped on second or third.
It's been a weird
entire game.
It's been a weird regional. Last night's game aside, which obviously featured more small ball, still 2 home runs.
The 3-0. Inside ball 4. Leadoff base runner for Vanderbilt, top of the fifth inning.
It's been a whole lot of boom or bust throughout this regional and all of the games, but a good start there by Barzy, and that's a guy that you feel pretty confident in at least giving you a good at bat, and that was an excellent job by him. You talk about not expanding the zone. He did not. A walk is just as good as a hit right now. You just need base runners, and you just need one big hit to get something going, and then you can breathe a little bit.
Left on left for Vastine. First pitch. Breaking ball is down. Good take by Vastine. 1 ball, no strikes. There's nobody in this lineup that I want a big hit more than for Vastine.
No question about it. And I promise you, Jonathan Vastine wants nothing more than to come through for his team right here.
The 1-0. Fly ball center field. That's not going to travel enough. Daniel Drift makes the catch, 1 down.
Nasty got a fastball to handle there. 88, but unfortunately got it down off the end of the bat.
Here's Humphrey. Give me a push bunt to first base. First pitch. Swing and a miss. 2 balls, 1 strike. That's that triangle that you guys call it?
The right triangle?
Yeah.
Or the left triangle? The late 3?
Yes. The 0-1. Up and in. 1 ball, 1 strike. Left-hander falling off toward third. You've got some space with the first baseman holding Barzy on. You've got a speedy.
I like it, Andrew.
Okay.
I'm all for it.
I'll take a 2-run pop. Misses high. 2 balls, 1 strike, or a walk.
Yeah, you'll take a base runner any way you can get it right now. And we tried the bunt a couple of times today. Vasti's just rolled foul, and Mancini put a good one down, but they made a good play on it.
The 2-1. Yanks it foul. There's the changeup. 2 balls, 2 strikes on Humphrey.
For these Commodore hitters right now, you've just almost got to sit off speed and again get back to staying up the middle of the field like you've been talking about, because the fastball is not going to beat you.
The 2-2. Up and away. 3 balls, 2 strikes. Good take by Humphrey. Vanderbilt trails 5-1. The 3-2. Inside ball 4.
That is a good
As
job.
Humphrey, he did flirt with the chicken.
Yeah, no need to do that.
Nope.
3-2. It's a good job laying off a couple of pitches there after the count was 2-2 by Humphrey. Again, base runners, that's what you need right now. You need to put some pressure on Page because he hasn't faced a whole lot of resistance. Obviously, the 1 hit was a solo shot with them up 4 runs, so nobody hurt. Solo shots, we talk about it all the time, they don't beat you. So this is the first real resistance he's faced since that inning when the double play off the bat of Vastine kind of crashed that inning.
On a quick conference with Page and the catcher Smith.
Mancini is a guy this weekend that has had really competitive at-bats as well. Maybe hasn't translated into quite as much success as he would hope for, but he has had good at-bats. He's hit the ball hard, and he certainly is no stranger to big moments in the postseason, as we talked about last night.
Well, 2 for 7 this weekend with the solo shot versus Wright State back on Friday with 1 down. Left on left the pitch. That's swung on. It's a ground ball picked up by Page. Throws to second base. They've got the runner down at second base. Mancini's going to be safe. Barzy to third. Vanderbilt is now 0 for its last 17 with runners in scoring position.
Boy, Andrew, that was inches away from being disaster for Wright State as Page nearly threw that ball into center field. An awkward play there with, I don't know, sure if he wasn't sure who was covering. Usually that's communicated before the pitch. Clearly, that's what happened. The shortstop broke towards the ball and Page ended up fielding it, and he had to break back towards second base, and for Page he had to try and hit a moving target. They were very lucky that the shortstop was able to get his foot on the bag.
Here's Frigden. Vanderbilt might be lucky that Page played the ball, too. First pitch. Misses tall. 1 ball, no strikes. It was a slow ground ball, but possible for a double play.
I think it would have been difficult had that gotten past the pitcher for them to double up Mancini. Maybe even get the out at second base. That would have been difficult as well.
The 1-0. Rigdon swings. It's hit. Oh, no! They're going to call it foul!
Oh, no.
Oh, ho, ho.
I'm not so sure about that. It's so hard to tell from that angle, kind of off center, but it certainly looks like that ball might have gone over that corner of the bag. Holy smokes. I don't know.
And you can't challenge it because it happens before the bag. That's not reviewable for Vanderbilt.
My goodness.
The 1-1. Up and away. 2 balls, 1 strike. Runners at the corners, 2 down. The 2-1. Popped him up. Right side, this is drifting. Foul out of play. I still think that's a fair ball, Jay.
Man,
many ball, like it's a little bit like the Nelson one down the right field line. It's hard to tell, but all of the ones that we've seen that look like that for Nelson have always been called fair. Everything that I've ever seen look like that, it's called fair.
I still don't understand why it's not reviewable. It's not like it's a subjective call. Like, it is what it is.
The 2-2. Up and away. 3 balls, 2 strikes for Rigdon. On deck is Austin.
Rooster has put together a good at-bat. Despite it, might have been robbed there of what could have been a huge double down the line. Chance for redemption, though.
The 3-2. Outside ball 4, bases loaded.
Boy, Andrew, if there was ever a time for your dude, the face of your team, R.J. Austin, to have a big moment, it's right now.
I'm going to sound like a broken record. He could tie up the game, but if you're patient, make him throw strikes.
Yeah, you got it.
If he's going to walk in a run, let him walk in a run. Let him come to you.
Yeah, that's the last thing you can do is become, as we'll get a meeting on the mound here, it's the last thing you can do is become over-aggressive in this situation. That's easy to do when you're squeezing it tight. You're feeling the pressure starting to mount as you get into the middle innings here of this elimination game. But this is when you need your dudes to be dudes. At the end of the year, at the end of this regional, however it shakes out, the outcome will be determined by the guys that help get you here.
Vanderbilt has 3 Grand Slams this season. Brody Johnston, Mike Mancini, Riley Nelson.
And for RJ, just, again, back to the basics. Stay up the middle of the field. You don't have to tie the game with a Grand Slam. We'll take it, but just keep the line moving right now.
Left versus right. Bases loaded for Vanderbilt. Barzy, Mancini, and Rigdon. First pitch to Austin. Outside. 1 ball, no strikes. Let Page come to you.
You have got to have such a small strike zone right now if you're R.J. Austin. Be looking for a pitch, and if you don't get it, be just fine moving on to the next one.
The 1-0. Up and away. 2 balls, no strikes. Let Page come to you.
And that zone I just spoke of just has to get even smaller on this pitch. If it's there, you let it rip. If not, you go 2-1.
The 2-0. Up and away. 3 balls, no strikes. Let's Page come to you.
Keep saying it, Andrew. Obviously, this is a no-brainer take right here for R.J. Austin.
Bases loaded, 2 down. 3 balls, no strikes for R.J. Austin. And the pitch by Page. Fastball for a strike. Count goes to 3-1.
It never fails. That's the pitch that's right down the middle of the plate. Splits it in half. But look for that pitch again, and if you don't get it, go 3-2.
The 3-1. Popped him up. Caught out 3, we go top, bottom 5. Back after this, Vanderbilt Sports Network from Learfield.
The home plate stop is no ordinary celebration. It's an exclamation point, punctuating team records, key wins, and epic moments marked by Vanderbilt legends. It sends visitors to the exits and proud Commodores into a frenzy. Ford knows that strong traditions start with leadership, like Ford F-Series, America's best-selling trucks 48 years straight. Drive F-150, proud sponsor of the Commodores, at your Tennessee Ford dealer, based on 1977 to 2024 total sales.
This game is brought to you by Jackalope Brewing Company, the official craft brewery of Vanderbilt Athletics. Proudly available at all Commodore basketball games, where our thirst for victory is only matched by our thirst for local beer. Feel like hitting the town? Come visit us for a pint at our brewery and tap room located in Nashville's Wedgwood, Houston neighborhood. Jackalope Brewing Company, encouraging you to anchor down and drink legendary and responsibly.
What's up, Commodore Nation? This is 2014 National Champion Dansby Swanson, and you're listening to Vanderbilt Baseball.
Bottom five, Vanderbilt trails 5-1. Alex Kranzler continues. Elimination game. If Vanderbilt can't make the comeback, they are done with 2025, which saw some tremendous moments, and Vanderbilt certainly needs one more. Again, for Kranzler continues here today. 3 innings, 2 hits, 1 run. It was not earned. 4 strikeouts, 1 walk. Took over for Austin 9, who struggled through the bottom of the first inning, where Wright State scored 4. So Foltz, Gregory, and Peltier, 2, 3, 4 for Wright State here in the bottom of the 5th inning. Here's the pitch. Fouls it off. No balls, 1 strike. And the pitch by Kranzler. Up and away. 1 ball, 1 strike. The 1-1. Inside, 2 balls, 1 strike. The 2-0. That's bounced toward the right side. This is a base hit here for Foltz to start off the bottom of the 5th inning.
Rigdon shaded over in that hole on the right side with the lefty Foltz up, and he bounced it right up the middle of the field. A fastball out over the plate.
2 for 3 today for Foltz. Here's Gregory. 2 RBIs for Gregory. 1 for 2 today. Here's the pitch. Placed on a bunt, first base side. Picked up by Kranzler, flips off to first base. They get the out, 1 down. Foltz goes to second.
Again, a good job by number 77 fielding his position out there. Covering that bunt over there in the right triangle. Take the sure out.
Here's Peltier, a sophomore. 1 for 1. First pitch up and in. Runner down at second base is Foltz. The 1-0 goes through. Breaking ball inside. 1 ball, 1 strike.
That was the backup cutter from Kranzler. 92 on the inner half. It just stayed in there with a little wrinkle to it.
The 1-1. Outside corner for a strike. 1 ball, 2 strikes. The 1-2. That's hit toward left field. That's going to drop in. It's a base hit. They're going to hold the runner at third base as Holcomb comes up looking at home, throws into Johnston. Runners at first and third. Peltier at first base. Foltz is at third.
Bulls are lucky. Not a great read there off the bat by Foltz out at second base. That was clearly down the whole way, and he held up. So a break there for the time being, at least, for the Doors. Keep the double play in order. Try and get a ground ball and get yourself out of this situation or get a strikeout, although this is not the guy that you want to see at the plate right now in Boston Smith.
No, sir. 1 for 2. 2-run home run back in the first inning that changed this ball game. Here's the pitch. Bouncing ball foul, first base side. Our score 5-1, bottom of the 5th inning. Vanderbilt versus Wright State. The 0-1 goes through. No balls, 2 strikes. Elevated fastball.
Now you're way ahead in this bat, and for Kranzler, a strikeout would be huge right here. So I would imagine we will see Kranzler try and get the chase here on the next 2 pitches.
Big spot for Barzy to stand tall behind the plate. That one is swung on, it's popped up, foul, out of play. Runners at first and third.
And try to elevate the fastball right there. Smith did a good job of spoiling that pitch right there at the top of the strike zone.
The 0-2 fouls it on. Fastball. The 0-2. Runner goes. No throw from Barzy. There goes the double play. 1 ball, 2 strikes on Boston Smith.
Peltier picked the right pitch to run on. 0-2 after back-to-back fastballs elevated. Figured you would probably see something off speed, and that's exactly what it was.
Infield's in. That pitch, it swung up, bounced first base side, but foul. The 1-2. Inside. 2 balls, 2 strikes, fastball. The 2-2. Breaking ball, call, third strike, big punch out for Kranzler, 2 down.
Massive punch out there for Kranzler. Getting the strikeout with runners second and third and just 1 out. Tough hitter at the plate, and Kranzler goes backdoor with the breaking ball. That was a perfectly executed pitch. Started off the plate and just worked its way right back to that corner. Great execution by Alex Kranzler.
Here's Luke Arnold. First pitch. Off the plate. 1 ball, no strikes, runners at second and third. The 1-0. Misses low. Does not chase. 2 balls, no strikes, 2 down. Arnold's at the plate. Now it's called by Scott Brown to talk with Kranzler.
Imagine this conversation has something to do with the fact that it's now 2-0 here. You certainly don't want to lay a pitch in there. Got a base open. So the last thing you want to do is give Arnold something to drive here, 2-0, when he's sitting dead red. Walk's not the worst thing in the world right here.
No. Arnold's 3-4-10 here this weekend with 2 home runs. The 2-0. Swing and a miss. It's like the cutter. Now it goes to 2-1.
That was a good 2-0 pitch there from Kranzler, down in the zone, fighting away from the hitter.
The 2-1. That one is split toward first base. It is caught by Nelson. Vanderbilt is through the jam. We go top 6. Vandy trails by 4, 5-1. Back after this. Vanderbilt Sports Network from Learfield.
Martin and Zerfoss believes that insurance is the foundation upon which businesses and families build their futures. For over 40 years, Martin and Zerfoss has worked with companies and individuals to build comprehensive coverage packages. Home, auto, life, health, disability, long-term care, all types of commercial, builder's risk, workers' comp, you name it. Whatever type of insurance you need, call Martin and Zerfoss. Online at martinzerfoss.com.
Hey Commodore fans, who doesn't enjoy a gourmet hot dog? Well, come on over to Daddy's Dogs, located in the nation's Printers Alley and also around the streets of Nashville. Serving up the biggest and best hot dogs this city has ever seen and putting their own creativity on America's favorite pastime.
Please visit our website at daddysdogs.com
or visit our social channels at Daddy's Dogs Nash. Daddy's Dogs. Golly, that's a tasty dog.
What's up, Commodore Nation? This is 2014 National Champion Ro Coleman, and you're listening to Vanderbilt Baseball.
That's what I can't get from the network studios. One final score from regional action in Conway. ECU beats Florida 11-4. The Gators are eliminated, and it's an East versus Coastal Carolina rematch in Conway. Tonight should be a good one there. Plus a barn burner in Oxford. It's 6-6. Georgia Tech and Ole Miss in the top of the 4th inning. Ball is flying at the home of the Rebels as they play a tight elimination game there. Again, tied at 6 in the top of the 4th inning. Back out to Hawkins Field, guys.
Gus, thank you so much as Griffin Page continues for Wright State. 5 innings, 1 hit, 1 run. 2 strikeouts, 4 walks. A solo shot by Brody Johnston, the only hit of the ball game for Vanderbilt back in the 2nd. Nelson, Brody Johnston, Holcomb, 2 up here in this top of the 6th inning. 0 for 2 for Nelson. Here's the pitch. Popped him up. Center field. Daniel. 1 down. Got to start hitting some line drives.
Ain't that the truth?
Left versus right for Brody. Here's the pitch. Breaking ball for a strike, no balls, 1 strike. The 0-1. There's a ground ball toward the left side. Played by Arnold, throws to first base, 6-3, 2 down. He's thrown 3 pitches, 2 outs.
I wish I had something to add here, Andrew, but lazy fly balls and ground balls to the infielders, not going to get it done. I sure wish that ball down the line, there was some way to review.
It was, yeah, I don't know.
Because it sure did look like...
Every time I've seen that ball in this ballpark look like that, it's fair.
It was fair for an awful long time before it even got close to crossing into that foul territory.
Here's Holcomb. Up and away. 1 ball, no strikes.
Again, the ball does not have to hit in fair territory on the other side of the bag.
It hit fair first.
Yeah, it just has to bounce over some portion of the bag, even if it's the far left-hand corner of it. Fair.
The 1-0. Breaking ball is low. 2 balls, no strikes. Well. The 2-0. Inside. 3 balls, no strikes on Holcomb. Up next is Barzy. Vanderbilt trails 5-1. I've not liked the close calls outside of the Nelson one so far this weekend, but Vanderbilt has done this to themselves. Ultimately, the 3-0. Ball 4. 0 for 9 versus Louisville with runners in scoring position. 0 for 2 with runners in scoring position versus Wright State. 0 for 0 versus Wright State back on Friday. And that is what it is. Close strike calls, ball calls at third base, foul, fair, whatever. To a certain extent, you can take it out of the umpire's hands, as much as I dislike some of the things that I've seen.
Sure thing. Ultimately, the story of last night was the fact that you had, I believe it was second and third twice with one out. So one time with no outs and weren't able to push any runs across.
Here's Barzy. First pitch, that's a high fly ball. This is to left field. It's not going to carry. Peltier's there. He's going to wait. He will make the catch. It is caught, 3 down. We go bottom 6. Back after this. Vanderbilt Sports Network from their field.
Some people like A and others like B. At BMW, we prefer X, like the dynamic X3 designed for ultimate exploration, the X5 with effortless precision and performance, or the X7 where comfort meets a commanding presence. All proudly assembled in BMW's largest plant worldwide in Spartanburg, South Carolina. For those who demand more from every mile, BMW, the ultimate driving machine.
Picture this, the perfect summer barbecue. No stress, no responsibilities, just all your friends, burgers and hot dogs on the grill, and a delicious, refreshing Pepsi Zero Sugar in your hand. Sounds nice, doesn't it? Burgers sizzling, hot dogs cooking, Pepsi Zero Sugar fizzing, and a backyard of very, very happy people. Oh yeah, we could get used to this. Very, very used to this. Grilling, better with Pepsi.
This is head coach Tim Corbin, and we are Vandy United. Learn more about Vandy United on vucommodores.com. Now, more Vanderbilt baseball.
The pitcher for Vanderbilt is Miller Green out of the bullpen. Vanderbilt trails 5-1, bottom of the 6th inning. If Vanderbilt can't make the comeback, the 2025 season wraps up here at the Nashville Regional. And Vanderbilt will be 0-2, I suppose, as the number 1 overall seed if you go back to 2007. Vanderbilt I feel like I'm bringing too much negativity. I apologize. We still got 3 innings to go. So, 1 victory in the past, 6 regional games.
Yeah, that's hard. That's tough, Andrew.
That's a weird one to square.
Postseason is random. There is no doubt about it. Look at what happened in, not that this makes you feel any better, but look at what happened in Athens, Georgia today.
No doubt. I hate regionals, man. I hate regionals.
They are difficult to get out of. It is.
I hate them. Got Gilkerson, Daniel, and Cook due up for Wright State here in the bottom of the 6th inning. Vanderbilt trails 5-1. This game changed on one swing by Boston Smith back in the bottom of the 1st inning. He had a chance to get out of that 1-0. That stung to give up the run, but you got back-to-back groundouts. You could get through it. Base hit, home run, 3-1. Soto shot, 4-0, I should say. And for whatever reason, 4 runs at the moment in the bottom of the 1st inning kind of felt like 20. First pitch, Gilkerson shows butt, pulls back. It's a strike, top of the zone, no balls, 1 strike. But if you've got outs, you've got some life, and Vanderbilt sure does have the bats to get back in this ball game. They'll just have 9 outs left to work with. The 0-1. There's a strike. Nice breaking ball, 0-2. There's a breaking ball, misses low. 1 ball, 2 strikes. The 1-2. There's a tapper, first base side, gonna go foul.
Well, I certainly am not ready to call it a day, Andrew.
No,
I brought 2 changes of clothes with me.
I got a bag back here, which was spare stuff of when I needed it.
Yeah.
For later today.
I packed 2 different polos today.
People accuse me of being too negative. I brought stuff for a full day.
Yeah, I fully anticipated being at Hawkins Field for the entirety of the day.
And tomorrow, up and away. By the way, next week.
Yep.
2 balls, 2 strikes on Gilkerson. Left versus left. Here's the pitch. Inside. 3 balls, 2 strikes. The 3-2. Up and away, ball 4. First pitch to Daniel. Shows bunt off the plate. 1 ball, no strikes.
I was just about to say I would be heads up on the bunt here. Bottom of the order, Daniel, a guy that can run. He can handle the bat.
The 1-0. This is inside. Shows bunt, pulls back. 2 balls, no strikes. Bullpen starts to move again for Vandy.
Barzy out to the mound along with Jonathan Vastine. They're going to talk this scenario through, make sure everyone's on the same page with bunt defense. If in fact Daniel does decide here with a 2-0 count to still lay one down at some point in this at bat.
The 2-0. It's high. 3 balls, no strikes. The 3-0. There's a strike inside corner, 3-1. Runner down at first base, the 3-1. Ball 4.
I don't know how adept Will Cook is at handling the bat, Andrew, but here in the 9 order, I would expect.
By the way, where's that pitch? Where does that miss?
I guess it was deemed inside, but
here's the pitch. Raced on a bunt, picked up by Nelson. He looks at third, not going to be in time, bases loaded. Well, Vanderbilt tried to crash down with Nelson, get the lead runner. It was maybe going to be close, but a double clutch by Nelson. Maybe took a second for Brody to get back to the bag. Bases loaded, nobody down. And the top of the order is up.
You got to be overly aggressive in this situation and try and get that lead runner given the situation of the game. But you were right, the double clutch is, once that happened, there was no shot at third base. And I don't know if Nelly didn't have a handle on it or, like you said, Brody was still trying to get to the back to the bag.
5-1, bottom of the 6th inning. Wright State's at the plate, nobody down. Here's the pitch by Green. Breaking ball for a strike. No balls, 1 strike. The 0-1. Inside corner gets the call. No balls, 2 strikes.
If there was ever a time that a strikeout would be huge, it's once again right here. 0-2, bases loaded, nobody out.
The 0-2. Swing and a miss. One down. There's a start.
It is a start for sure. That was a good slider there by Miller Green. Started right there at the bottom of the zone and just dove down and out of the zone, and a good job by Barzy blocking that ball up and keeping it in front with the runner on third.
Here's Patrick Foltz, left on left. First pitch. Hit hard toward the right side. Picked up by Rigdon. Goes to second. That's one. The spin to first. Stretch. Double play. Vanderbilt gets through it for the first time. For the first time today. Genuine energy in Hawkins Field. It was a blip with Brody's home run. Momentum must build. Top 7. JM.
Andrew, I'm going to go stand in my spot, but that was a big momentum builder right there. Now you just got to build on it from the offensive side.
Back after this, top 7, Vanderbilt trails 5-1.
Their jersey doesn't have a number. They don't hear the roar of the crowd after a goal or feel the anticipation as a ball sails through the net. And while they don't run bases, they do run routes every day. And the saves they make don't determine a game on the line, but a life on the line. For all the teams Vanderbilt Health supports, this is the most important one, their own. Be a part of the team that takes care of your team.
No matter how you slice it, Nashville's favorite pizza is 5 Points Pizza. 5 Points Pizza is open 7 days a week for lunch and dinner in East and West Nashville with delicious weekday lunch and happy hour specials. Enjoy the lunch special combos of slices, salads, or garlic knots for as little as $11 on weekdays between 11 a.m. and 4 p.m. Can't enjoy hot pizza without a cold beer? Stop by between 2 and 6 p.m. on weekdays for any slice and any draft for just $8. To order, visit 5pointspizza.com.
Hey, this is Nate Bargatze, and you're listening to Commodores Baseball on the Vanderbilt Sports Network from Learfield. Go Doors!
Well, Vandy fans, don't forget to contact Martin & Zerfos for solutions to your insurance risk management and group benefit needs. Martin & Zerfos, ensuring Vandy fans since 1978. Fast time to lead things off. Vanderbilt trails 5-1, top 7. Kevin Ingram back on the broadcast here. Vanderbilt 9 outs to go, potentially to push this thing into another game for Vanderbilt, or it could be the end of the season. So fast time to lead things off versus Griffin Page. First pitch, top 7. Up and away. 1 ball, no strikes.
Got outs, you got life. That was a really big double play ball to finish that last half inning. Keep the score where it is.
The 1-0. Outside corner, it's a strike, breaking ball. 1 ball, 1 strike. Oh for 2 so far today for Fast Time. Left on left with Page. The 1-1. Outside. 2 balls, 1 strike. The 2-1. It's up, 3 balls, 1 strike. 91 pitches for Page. The 3-1. Fouls it off. Count goes to 3-2.
At this point, how patient will Wright State be with Page, who's pitched a terrific game, and the game on Friday night, a bit of a surprise. They went to the bullpen as early as they did. That was to Vanderbilt's advantage.
The 3-2. That one is swung on. It's a rocket to center field. It's right at Daniel. It's been that kind of weekend for Vanderbilt, and certainly for Vastine. That was one of the hardest hit baseballs of the tournament for Vanderbilt, and it goes right to Daniel.
Could not square it up any more than Vastine did right there. He smoked that ball on the line, straight away center field. Right at Daniel.
Here's Humphrey. Left versus right, the pitch. That is pumped up, center field. At the track, it's got some carry, but not enough. 2 down.
Just feels like Vanderbilt's hit a lot of balls just like that today. Biggest part of the yard. Page has kept him in the building. Just big missed opportunities, really for both teams, but especially for Vanderbilt in that 5th inning.
Here's Mancini. 2 down, bases empty. Just so hard to build rallies if you're going to get them going with 2 outs. Here's the pitch. Breaking ball for a strike, bottom part of the zone. The 0-1. Fastball misses low. 1 ball, 1 strike.
Please don't have them.
The 1-1. Stays high. 2 balls, 1 strike.
The good news for Vanderbilt is, regardless of what happens here with Mancini, you're going to get the top and the middle of the batting order up at least one more time.
That swung out, hit hard. Oh, look, there's a fielder. 4-3. 3 down. We go bottom 7, 5-1. Back after this on the Vanderbilt Sports Network from Learfield.
Hey, Commodore fans, the Holiday Inn West End Vanderbilt is your headquarters for week-long entertainment. Stop by the Commodore Grill and enjoy live music from some of Nashville's best songwriters from 6 to 10 p.m., 7 nights a week. Grab a cup of Bongo Java from our coffee bar Brew to start your morning. Brew is in the main lobby. The Holiday Inn West End Vanderbilt, just walking distance from the stadium. The game starts here.
Vanderbilt Business offers degree and certificate programs designed to help you gain the knowledge, connections, and confidence to achieve your unique goals. We're committed to creating opportunities for you to discover, grow, and thrive at every stage of your career, whether you're just starting out or working your way to the C-suite. Let our dedicated staff and faculty help you take the next step in your professional journey. Visit vanderbiltbusiness.com/anchor down today. That's vanderbiltbusiness.com/anchor down.
This is men's basketball coach Mark Byington, and you're listening to Commodore Baseball on the Vanderbilt Sports Network from Learfield. Anchor down.
Thanks, Coach. Guess what? I can't preview from the network studios. Couple of final scores from elimination games earlier today at the Clemson Regional. The hosts are done. Kentucky beats the Clemson Tigers 16-4. They move on to tonight's regional final against West Virginia later tonight. Plus, high drama in Athens. Oklahoma State down to their final out. They tied it with a 2-run shot in the ninth, and they win it with another 2-run shot from Brock Thompson. It finishes 11-9. The Cowboys eliminate the host Georgia Bulldogs, and they move on to the regional finals to take on the Duke Blue Devils coming up later today. Back out to Hawkins Field, guys.
Hey, Gus, thank you so much as Miller Green continues here in this bottom of the 7th inning. Vanderbilt trails 5-1. This is an elimination game. If Vanderbilt can't make the comeback, that will do it for a 2025. Certainly Vanderbilt has the firepower and 6 outs to work with to get over the hump. But they'll be looking for their 5th victory when trailing after 7 this season. UC Irvine, Alabama, Kentucky, and Wright State. Those are the previous 4. Yes. Fastball for a strike outside corner. No balls, 1 strike.
It's all setting up for late inning drama.
I'd rather not. But we've got no choice. The 0-1. There's a pop-up. This is down the left field line. Holcomb is over. This one is playable. It is caught. There's 1 down for Gregory.
Miller Green did a great job in the last inning. Wright State had the bases loaded with nobody out and a chance to really break the game open. Able to bear down, get a strikeout, double play ball, get back to the dugout, no further damage.
Here's J.P. Peltier. Left versus right. Here's the pitch. Misses low. 1 ball, no strikes. The 1-0. That's hit hard toward left field. Holcomb has a beat on it, makes the catch. There's 2 down.
Does that guy do anything except hit line drives? Goodness.
Holy cow. He's 2 for 3 here today. 2 singles, a walk, 1 run scored. Here's Boston Smith. Time is called here by Wright State to slow things down on this bottom of the 7th inning. So, of course, the biggest swing of the ball game came back in the 1st inning. Boston Smith a 2-run home run with 2 outs to make it 3-0. It was followed by a solo shot by Luke Arnold, and Vanderbilt fell behind 4-0 after 1. Vanderbilt got a solo shot by Brody Johnston in the top of the 2nd, but that's the only hit of the ball game for Vandy.
I'm sure it's not hard to find out, but I'd be interested to know what the draft status and thoughts are on this guy, Boston Smith. Excellent power, good hitter, good catcher.
Here's the pitch. Fouls it off. If I had to venture a guess, Kev, not to minimize his collegiate career, I'm going to guess pretty low. Now, he's probably changed that by hitting 26 home runs this year. But 5 for 10 was a senior, the 0-1. That one is lifted toward left field. This one is drifting down the left field line. Holcomb looks, and it is foul. I don't mean to slight him, or he's a heck of a college player, but from a pro perspective, a little bit of a slender build.
You never can tell. I mean, catcher, say he gets a shot in the pros, maybe catcher is not his position.
Correct.
Could definitely swing the bat.
The 0-2. Swing and a miss. 1-2-3 for Vanderbilt. Just what Vanderbilt needed. Bottom 7 we go. Top 8. The Doors trail 5-1. Back after this on the Vanderbilt Sports Network from their field.
This game is brought to you by Jackalope Brewing Company, the official craft brewery of Vanderbilt Athletics. Proudly available at all Commodore basketball games, where our thirst for victory is only matched by our thirst for local beer. Feel like hitting the town? Come visit us for a pint at our brewery and tap room located in Nashville's Wedgwood, Houston neighborhood. Jackalope Brewing Company, encouraging you to anchor down and drink legendary and responsibly.
Here at the Tennessee Lottery Center for Game-Changing Fun, experts from all over the state are working around the clock to push the boundaries of big wins. And today, we are proud to say we've done it with Multiplier Instant Games. These groundbreaking tickets are engineered with chances to win up to $1 million. That's a whole lot of innovation. So discover the exponential fun of Multiplier Instant Games today. The Tennessee Lottery, Game-Changing Fun. Please play responsibly.
What's going on, Commodore Nation? This is 2013 SEC Player of the Year, Tony Kemp, and you're listening to Vanderbilt Baseball on the Vanderbilt Sports Network from Learfield.
Welcome back as we go top of the 8th inning. Vanderbilt trails 5-1, like you said, Kev. Back on Friday, Wright State went to the bullpen early. That benefited Vanderbilt. They will not do the same here today. It is still Griffin Page as we go top 8. Just one hit for Vanderbilt versus the lefty.
Was in a spot. His next pitch will be his 100th of the day. But really, it's not always the pitch total. It's how taxing some of those pitches are. And been a couple frames where he's really been tested, but then there have been others where he's been able to get Vanderbilt really on a minimal amount of effort. 7th inning, for example, and really the 6th inning, too, for that matter. Working around a 2-out walk.
Dustin Rigdon to lead things on. First pitch. Fouls it off. Right back.
I know you and JM were talking about this, but I'd love to have a more definitive look at that ball that Rigdon hit down the third baseline in the 5th inning. This sure looked for all the world like it was a fair ball.
The 0-1. It's a strike inside corner. No balls, 2 strikes. It's so hard to think that it wasn't fair. The 0-2. There's a bloop. It's a jam shot towards center field. This one is back. It's playable. It is caught by the second baseman, Warren. 1 down. 5 outs left. First pitch, RJ. Fouls it off.
Feels like it's just been a tough 3 days at the plate for RJ. And a very good month of May overall.
The 0-1. Outside. 1 ball, 1 strike. The 1-1. Fouls it off. 1 ball, 2 strikes. The 1-2. Up and in. 2 balls, 2 strikes. The 2-2. Struck him out. 2 down.
Like a changeup that RJ couldn't get to. Breaking away from the right-handed batter from the left-handed pitcher.
First pitch, Delson up and away. 1 ball, no strikes. The 1-0. Fly ball, center field. This has some carry track. Not enough. 3 down. We go bottom 8. Back after this. Vanderbilt trails 5-1. Vanderbilt Sports Network from Learfield.
Where can you find the Music City's hottest spots under one roof? At the Omni Nashville Hotel. This stunning luxury hotel offers the perfect blend of urban elegance with a vintage touch in the heart of downtown. Discover a variety of culinary delights at the award-winning Bob's Steak and Chop House. Authentic Southern cuisine and kitchen notes. Nashville's coolest honky-tonk bar lines. And grab your favorite cup of joe at Bongo Java. Find your inner zen at one of downtown Nashville's only full-service salon and spas, the Mocara Spa. What are you waiting for? Your key to Music City, the Omni Nashville Hotel. Come see us soon.
What's poppin', Nashville? I'm Amber.
I'm Erica.
And I'm Jennifer. And we are the Sisters of Colonel's Nashville Popcorn, located in East Nashville.
We offer 14 plus delicious popcorn flavors, including our original Nashville hot popcorn. Ooh, spicy.
We are a family-owned business with a deep love for the community. So when you come to Colonel's, you're treated like one of the family.
Check out our story at colonelsnashville.com and view our products. We ship nationwide.
If you love popcorn, you will love Colonel's Nashville Popcorn. Pop by and see us.
What's up, Commodore Nation? This is 2014 National Champion Dansby Swanson, and you're listening to Vanderbilt Baseball.
We go bottom 8. Vanderbilt trails 5-1 elimination game. Vanderbilt needs 4 runs, at least top 9, as they try to keep Wright State off the board here in the bottom of the 8th inning. It's Arnold, Gilkerson, and Daniel Dua. And Miller Green continues for Vanderbilt. Well, Kranzler and Green out of the bullpen so far have done a good job. Austin Knight got the start today. He was special in the SEC Championship versus Ole Miss. He went 4 2/3, 5 strikeouts. He was great versus the Rebels. But this was a reversion to the Kentucky game for Austin. Did not get off to a good start. Gave up 2 home runs in the bottom of the first inning. And Vanderbilt's offense has been stuck in neutral for about a week now.
The major props to Kranzler out of the bullpen. 4 innings, gave up 1 run, unearned, walking 5 strikeouts. Did a great job just to keep the game as close as he could. Got out of a couple messes and really did a good job.
First pitch to Arnold. Breaking ball for a strike inside corner. No balls, 1 strike, 1 for 3. Solo shot for Arnold back in that first inning as Smith and Arnold went back to back. The 0-1. Breaking ball for a strike. No balls, 2 strikes. Oh, 2. Swing and a miss. Picked up by Barzy. Applies the tag. There's 1 down. Good pitch by Miller. Brings us to Gilkerson. Vanderbilt in the top of the 9th inning will have Cody Johnston, Braden Holcomb, Colin Barzy. Freshman, sophomore before Vastine, Humphrey, and Mancini hopefully all come up for Vanderbilt with the Doors needing 4. Breaking ball for a strike. No balls, 1 strike versus Gilkerson, left versus left. The 0-1. Off the plate. 1 ball, 1 strike. The 1-1. Goes through, 1-2. Nice pitch by Miller. Got a fastball past him at 93. The 1-2. Swing and a miss. Back-to-back strikeouts.
A pretty nice performance here by Miller Green. That bases loaded jam of the 6th, but since then, it's gone to work. 4 strikeouts, 2 2/3 innings.
Here's Daniel. First pitch is down. 1 ball, no strikes, 2 down. The 1-0. Swing and a miss. 1 ball, 1 strike on Daniel. Base is empty, 2 outs. Bottom of the 8th inning. Vanderbilt trails 5-1. The 1-1. Outside. 2 balls, 1 strike. The 2-1. Fouls it off. 2 balls, 2 strikes, back to the screen. The 2-2. Up and away. 3 balls, 2 strikes. Again for Vanderbilt, it is the middle part of the order. We've got Johnston, Holcomb, and Barzy. 4, 5, 6, 2 up in the top of the 9th inning. The 3-2. Ball 4.
Looked pretty close to strike 3.
Oh, my.
Daniel sold it well leaning away, but I thought that got some plate.
Left on left, 0 for 2 for Cook. Pickoff move, runner is going. There's Nelson, throws down to second base. There's the tag. He overruns the bag. They're going to keep on playing this. Vastine flips off to Johnston, tries to chase him back. There's the flip off to Rigdon. He gets the tag. He gets the tag, or if the runner goes out of the base pass. I'm not sure what the call was from Danny Cricks. Either way, it's going to be the 3rd out. Wright State wants to challenge.
That was a weird play. I thought they had him at second base the first time
I thought they had him at second base, too. I almost can't believe that they let the play keep going. Are we getting a review or no?
Yeah, I'm not sure. Their third base coach was asking for a review, but doesn't look like one is forthcoming here.
Okay, we go top 9. Season's on the line. Vanderbilt trails 5-1. Back after this on the Vanderbilt Sports Network from their field.
At First Bank, we've always been Vandy fans, and as the official bank of Vanderbilt Athletics, we're also teammates helping cheer on the Doors together. We're proud to add Commodore Pride to your wallet with our official Vanderbilt debit cards. Anchor down when you pay with Vanderbilt debit cards from First Bank. When 2 historic Tennessee teams join together, you get even more ways to bank on the Doors. Bank local, get more. First Bank, member FDIC.
The home plate stop is no ordinary celebration. It's an exclamation point, punctuating team records, key wins, and epic moments marked by Vanderbilt legends. It sends visitors to the exits and proud Commodores into a frenzy. Ford knows that strong traditions start with leadership, like Ford F-Series, America's best-selling trucks 48 years straight. Drive F-150, proud sponsor of the Commodores, at your Tennessee Ford dealer, based on 1977 to 2024 total sales.
This is head coach Tim Corbin, and we are Vandy United. Learn more about Vandy United on VUCommodores.com. Now, more Vanderbilt baseball.
We go top 9. Season is on the line. I would give anything to trade my Xavier 2023 buys for one of the best comebacks of the season. Brody Johnston, Holcomb Barzy, Dua. Griffin Page is looking for the complete game. Only hit of the ball game for Vanderbilt, this guy, Brody Johnston. Back in the second, a solo shot. First pitch. Outside, 1 ball, no strikes. Johnston, Holcomb, Barzy. Top of the 9th inning. Vanderbilt has 3 outs, needs 4 runs. The 1-0. Stays high. 2 balls, no strikes. And the pitch by Page. Misses high. 3 balls, no strikes. There's been 5 walks here today by Page. 3 strikeouts. 8+ innings. 1 hit, 1 run. 112 pitches. Up and in, ball 4.
I would not think the leash would be very long for Page at this point. But if you're Vanderbilt, you got exactly what you wanted. The leadoff man on base to get the inning started. 2 right-handers in the Wright State bullpen.
Yeah, that's going to do it. So he was given the first batter. He walks him. New pitcher coming up for Wright State with Brody Johnston down at first base. Holcomb, Barzy, Dua. Vanderbilt needs, not would like. We've officially reached must-win, needs 4 runs in the truest sense of the words. Back after this on the Vanderbilt Sports Network from their field.
What happens when the thrill of Powerball meets the thrill of NASCAR? You get a chance to win an exciting trip for 2 to the NASCAR Championship Race in Phoenix, Arizona. Plus, the chance to win $1 million in a special drawing. Enter the NASCAR Powerball Playoff Second Chance Drawing at TNVIPRewards.com between May 10th and June 30th for your chance to win. The Tennessee Lottery. Game-changing fun. Please play responsibly. NASCAR is used with express permission. NASCAR LLC is not a sponsor of this promotion.
Their jersey doesn't have a number. They don't hear the roar of the crowd after a goal or feel the anticipation as a ball sails through the net. And while they don't run bases, they do run routes every day. And the saves they make don't determine a game on the line, but a life on the line. For all the teams Vanderbilt Health supports, this is the most important one, their own. Be a part of the team that takes care of your team.
This is 2021 SEC Freshman of the Year, Enrique Bradfield Jr., and you're listening to Vanderbilt Baseball on the Vanderbilt Sports Network from Learfield.
Wright State is Max Weitzel. We saw him for one batter back on Friday. He faced Brody Johnston, took care of Brody Johnston. That was after Vanderbilt took the lead on the two-run shot by Nelson. His first batter here, top of the ninth inning, is Holcomb. So Weitzel versus Holcomb. 3.18 ERA with a 22 2/3 innings pitched mark with 25 strikeouts, 13 walks, 6 doubles, 2 home runs. And Vanderbilt, again, sometimes we talk about must-win situations. This is one. It's a must-get-4 for Vanderbilt in the top of the ninth inning. They trail 5-1. Still just one hit here today for Vanderbilt and 6 walks. Here comes Holcomb.
Well, on TV, they're showing highlights of Vanderbilt's comeback on Friday. Sounds like a good plan.
Wright versus Wright. First pitch. Off the plate. 1 ball, no strikes. Fastball at 86. On base twice today for Holcomb. E5 back in the second, walked back in the 6th inning. The 1-0. Swing and a miss, changeup. 1 ball, 1 strike. He's got 1 hit so far this weekend. That came versus Louisville. A base hit to left field. One of the very few singles that Vanderbilt has picked up in the past couple of games. The 1-1. Fouls it off. 1 ball, 2 strikes.
Holcomb was right on that one. It's like that same, I don't know if that's some sort of cutter or slider. Caught a whole bunch of the plate.
Johnston's down at first base. The 1-2. Fouls it off. Got a fastball at 92 and gets a piece of it. One ball, 2 strikes for Holcomb. Nobody down, top of the 9th inning. Elimination game with Wright State. The 1-2. Check swing, did he go? Did not, as they check down to first base. 2 balls, 2 strikes. The 6'4" sophomore out of Orlando looks at Weitzel. Right versus right. The 2-2. Fouls it off. Fastball 92.
Super nice at bat here for Braden Holcomb. Fouling off pitches, trying to get to one that he likes, that he can handle.
Two balls, 2 strikes. Weitzel from the stretch. The 2-2. Misses low. Ball 3, 3 balls, 2 strikes.
Like we all held our collective breaths on that pitch.
Full count. A junior from Ohio versus the sophomore from Florida. The 3-2. Got him. 1 down.
Like a little slider that caught the plate. Holcomb may have caught a break in the previous pitch and called out on strikes.
Here's Barzy. 1 down. Vanderbilt needs 4. Here's the pitch. Off the plate. The 1-0. Off the plate, 2 balls, no strikes. Vanderbilt does not have a hit since Brody Johnston's solo shot back in the second. That is the only hit of the ball game for Vanderbilt. The 2-0. Inside corner for a strike, 2 balls, 1 strike. The 2-1. Outside, yanked it, 3 balls, 1 strike. Three balls, 1 strike to Barzy. With 1 down, he throws. Fouls it off. Count goes full. The payoff pitch. Outside, that one is going to get past Boston Smith. It's ball 4, runners at first and second for Vastine.
Well, this is a spot you really root for this guy. This senior has been around this program so long. Over 200 games in a Vanderbilt uniform. He's had a tough day at the plate today. But now a big spot, 9th inning, season on the line, runners on base.
Yep, 212 games to be specific, 24 career home runs, 44 doubles. Right versus left. First pitch. Misses inside. 1 ball, no strikes, 1 down. Runners at first and second.
Weitzel seems a little puzzled by the strike zone. I think he felt like he should have got that pitch. Now Smith goes out to try to settle him down a little bit here.
Well, for Vanderbilt, 0 for 4 with runners in scoring position today. Vanderbilt is 0 for the last 18 with runners in scoring position. That dates back to the Tennessee game, despite the fact that Vanderbilt did win the SEC championship versus Ole Miss, got the victory versus Wright State on Friday. None of the runs came with runners in scoring position, not even the home runs. It's back to that 10-run performance versus the Vols with 13 singles to find the last time that Vanderbilt's in a situation like this. 12 in a row. Not going to get to the finish line here today with the victory without it. Vastine looking for his first hit of the regional. Runners at first and second. Johnston's at second. Barzy's at first base. The 1-0. Misses. 2 balls, no strikes. Fastball low. Wright State thinking double play to end the game. Vanderbilt thinking pitch by pitch by pitch. The 2-0. Bottom part of the zone, fastball for a strike, 2-1. Thus, all of the pitches down, for sure, looking for that double play. Perhaps he elevates at some point, but if they can spin 2, they'll take it. The 2-1. Misses low, 3 balls, 1 strike. Boy, if I'm Vastine, I for sure want to hack. But this ball has got to be up a little bit because they have been thinking down, down, down for a guy that has already grounded into a double play today. The 3-1. Misses low, ball 4, bases loaded.
Here we go. Not done yet. Tying run at the plate. And Wright State will make another pitching change.
We'll step aside. Jacob Humphrey is up. Back after this on the Vanderbilt Sports Network from Learfield.
The home plate stop is no ordinary celebration. It's an exclamation point, punctuating team records, key wins, and epic moments marked by Vanderbilt legends. It sends visitors to the exits and proud Commodores into a frenzy. Ford knows that strong traditions start with leadership, like Ford F-Series, America's best-selling trucks 48 years straight. Drive F-150, proud sponsor of the Commodores, at your Tennessee Ford dealer, based on 1977 to 2024 total sales.
At First Bank, we've always been Vandy fans, and as the official bank of Vanderbilt Athletics, we're also teammates helping cheer on the Doors together. We're proud to add Commodore pride to your wallet with our official Vanderbilt debit cards. Anchor down when you pay with Vanderbilt debit cards from First Bank. When two historic Tennessee teams join together, you get even more ways to bank on the Doors. Bank local, get more. First Bank, member FDIC.
What's up? This is Kirk Casale, part of the 2011 College World Series team, and you're listening to Vanderbilt Baseball from Learfield. Now back to Andrew Allegretta.
Bases loaded. Vanderbilt needs 4. Top of the 9th inning. If they don't get it, the season is done. New pitcher is Warren Hartzell. You might know him from the 2-run shot from Riley Nelson back on Friday. Out of the bullpen once again. 6 victories, 3 losses, 2 saves. A 5.49 ERA, 48 strikeouts, 19 walks, 8 home runs given up, 5 doubles. We'll see. Bases loaded though. Johnston, Barzy, Batstein, all ones. Again, Vanderbilt does not have a hit. Since the solo shot from Brody Johnston back in the second, they do not have a base hit with runners in scoring position since Tennessee in Hoover. You will not get to the finish line without one of those here today.
I feel like you keep throwing that out there. It's going to work.
Some are saying.
So do you.
Vanderbilt is thinking the opportunity is right there. Wright State is thinking double play and advancing to the regional final versus Louisville tonight. Double play will be difficult with Humphrey. Vanderbilt is just trying to move the line. 5-1 top of the 9th inning. This is the 8th spot. Right versus right. First pitch. Outside, that one's going to get away for a second. Boston Smith keeps it in front of him, and Johnston stays points. Well, for Jacob Humphrey, 4 home runs this season, 22 RBIs. The last time that Jacob Humphrey went deep, it was a solo shot to right field at the Hoover Mets to win the SEC championship. The 1-0 popped him up. Left field. This is a little bit tricky. Who's going to make the play? I think they've called an infield fly rule. They have. 1 down. I should say 2 down. Excuse me. Here's Mike Mancini. Took this guy deep back on Friday. One out left in the season for Vanderbilt. Oh for 3 today. Right versus left, bases loaded. First pitch. Breaking ball, answer strike, bottom part of the zone. No balls, 1 strike, good take. The 0-1 outside. 1 ball, 1 strike, 2 down. Johnston's at third. Barzy's at second. Fastein's at first base. Can Vanderbilt extend the season? Hartzell. He throws. Breaking ball is swung on. It's a line drive back up the middle. A big first base hit for Vanderbilt. Brody Johnston's going to score. Here comes Barzy. New tally for Vanderbilt is 5-3.
Clutch by Mike Mancini. Season on the line, takes it right back up the middle. Now the winning run comes to the plate.
So Fastein goes to second base. Mike Mancini down at first base. He's the critical one.
Well, the go-ahead run comes to the plate, not necessarily the winning run.
Yes.
With Vanderbilt batting top of the ninth as the visiting team in this case.
Right versus left. First pitch to Rigdon. Breaking ball settles in. It's a strike, no balls, 1 strike, 2 down. Vanderbilt has a chance. Wright State is still trying to knock off the number 1 overall seed with 1 more out. The 0-1. Outside. 1 ball, 1 strike. Feels like the same pitch sequence that we just saw to Mike Mancini. Breaking ball to the fastball outside. 1 ball, 1 strike. We'll see what Rigdon gets on the third pitch. With 2 on, 2 down. The 1-1. That one is sprung on. This one is hit toward the gap. This one is drifting back. This is going to want to hop the wall. It goes over. Oh no. What's the call? Are we going to get the winning run to the plate or the tying run? No, no, no. They're going to send him back. A 3.
Just a tough break right there. That ball stays in the yard. Vanderbilt's tied the game. Instead, still down and run with runners at second and third.
Here comes Austin. Five to 4. Mancini down at third base. Time is called. Here comes Alex Sogar, head coach for Wright State. I did not get a clean look to see exactly where Mike Mancini was when that ball got up and over. Vanderbilt has not issued much of a protest, so I suspect that it was the right call. But if that ball one-hops the wall.
If it one-hops the wall, he scores easily, but you only get the amount of bases that the hitter gets, correct? If Mancini's at first and it's a double. But still, just a tough break.
Here comes Austin. Oh for 4 today. Right versus right with 2 down. Here's the pitch. That's a fly ball toward right field. This is drifting. Ball game season 5-4. Back after this on the Vanderbilt Sports Network from Learfield.
Hey, Commodore fans, the Holiday Inn West End Vanderbilt is your headquarters for week-long entertainment. Stop by the Commodore Grill and enjoy live music from some of Nashville's best songwriters from 6 to 10 p.m., 7 nights a week. Grab a cup of Bongo Java from our coffee bar Brew to start your morning. Brew is in the main lobby. The Holiday Inn West End Vanderbilt, just walking distance from the stadium. The game starts here.
Their jersey doesn't have a number. They don't hear the roar of the crowd after a goal or feel the anticipation as a ball sails through the net. And while they don't run bases, they do run routes every day. And the saves they make don't determine a game on the line, but a life on the line. For all the teams Vanderbilt Health supports, this is the most important one, their own. Be a part of the team that takes care of your team.
Another Vandy baseball game is in the books. It's time to break it down on the postgame show. Today